Alright, just stuck again. Stuck when I'm on YouTube. Oh, you know, fuck, I forgot one thing. I don't know if I mentioned it. I got made like 5 or 6 videos, and I'm only going to use 2 of them so far, maybe 1. But I forgot to mention we have been having suicides here in Michigan at an incredible rate. Every day they're finding somebody dead down here in Laurel, Michigan, and my guess is it's fucking going on all over. I read a statistic once that China, the #1 cause of death was suicide. You know, the country we give preference in trading and have borrowed a lot of money for, and basically sold most of our land, put it up for collateral, which they're going to be moving in pretty soon, so get ready for your Chinese neighbor, guys, but it won't be all that bad. You know, those guys could probably make some great food up there in our state parks, where they're going to, that's what they're going to get, because that's what we use for collateral. 30% of our state parks we use for collateral for these Chinese loans, and they're going to claim that, because, you know, they're looking at that real hard, man. There's not many trees left in China, maybe 1 or 2. 6 billion people. They go to one of those forests with fucking giant trees and deers hopping all around and rabbits. All they see is a Chinese restaurant in the middle of the fucking, all those woods they can build a fucking city out of, and a fucking wall, because they love to build those fucking walls. That's what's going to happen there. But suicide's everywhere, man. You know, I see I'm suicide, you guys, but I'm really not. You know, what I'll do is, if something happens, and a lot of people that have came to these conclusions and, you know, are blogging a lot like me and saying things like, you know, Bush has a small dick and stuff like that. You know, they're really gunning for people like us. And I think that if something's happening to you that's out of the ordinary, you know, you're blogging, you're listening to these alternative radio stations, you're saying, yeah, 9/11 was sort of kind of fucking fishy. I mean, the way it happened. I mean, even Geraldo woke up to that. You know, you're gonna be marked. Shit starts happening. You know, you're getting stopped a lot. You're fucking, you know, all of a sudden something happens from the past, and now, you know, you face jail time, and especially if you're unemployed, because they want to get the unemployed fucking people off the street. We got too much time. If we're learning and we're not watching their mind control box, we're not part of the system. So they have to get rid of us, and that's what's happening to me right now. And I say, what we should do is fucking march on Washington, man. Let's go confront the enemy right where the fucking head is. Because you know something? If you're gonna die, you might as well be right there. Right there in the thick of this shit. Fuck, I gotta go through here again. This is really deep, man. It's really cool. This is raw, unprocessed, man. This is as raw and unprocessed as it gets. If you fall, you're fucked. It's the name of the game. Because you'll never fucking get dry after that. Okay. But I just wanted to mention about the suicides here in Michigan. They're everywhere. If anybody in any other state or country would like to say, hey, it's happening there, you know, just say something. We're having lots of suicides here. It's, you know, they're finding bodies here and there, and there's a lot going on daily, 2 or 3 a day in the fucking, you know, the papers, and nobody. It's like no big deal, man. Like, it happens all the time. Just it happens all the time. This time of year. It's got nothing to do with this time of year. It's been in 2008 is when Michigan, into 2007, the beginning of 2008 is when Michigan took the hardest hit, and it's been 99 weeks. Now these people have been off for 99 weeks. And look what happened the other day in Florida. You know, guys, you know, this just, I did predict this. This is going to start happening. But the thing is, it's because, I don't know, man. Do we have something in our body that triggers this mechanism? Because for sure, I tell you what, if all these fucking people that are committing suicide would just band together, if we would just meet in one fucking place, man, and really that place has got to be Washington, D.C. We have to meet at the head of the serpent, and we will be devoured. If anybody remembers the bonus soldiers of World War I, they were promised some bonus money. After World War I, there were no fucking jobs, and that was a fucked up war. You know, that war makes fucking Afghanistan, Vietnam, and all the other wars since then look like a fucking Sunday school picnic. You know, those guys had fucking problems when they came back. They had seen some bullshit. Nothing like we have today. Little pansy-ass fucking war where you sleep in a nice warm sleeping bags. You know, these were guys who were eating rats and fucking happy to have it. In those fucking fucked up, you know, trenches full of poison and fucking gases. But the thing is, they couldn't pay them. We couldn't afford to fucking pay the troops. So they told them, you know, a few years after the war ended in like 1918, like 1920, 22, you can have this X amount of money. And the government reneged on it. So the bonus troops, they called them, went into Washington. And these are poor people. They brought their families with them. You know, this is back in the 20s, you guys. And they built these little shacks out in the front of in the front of the White House because they were protesting. They thought this would be a couple days. It ended up being weeks. And then finally, after these guys had to build stuff, you know, they had their families with them mostly, so they had to build shelters to keep them out of the elements. They came in, the federal troops, they fucking burned their shelters. They killed thousands of people, thousands of these troops that put their fucking life on the line, man. You know, in World War I. And that was another false flag, fuck you, fucked up war that we got into. So here we are. Has anything changed, man? Just think about it. Has anything fucking changed? You know something? Only this time, I'll tell you one thing that has changed. There's a little something called internet. And there's a little something called, you know, media. And if 1 million people, if 2 million people, unemployed people, that have nothing better to do, man, you know, you got nothing. Start walking. If enough of us started walking towards Washington now, people would give us money along the way. If you had 100,000 people walking down the freeway, blocking the freeway, do you know how many supporters we would have? If you had 1 million people walking down the freeways, heading towards Washington, you know what kind of movement that would be? You know how many people would be supporting that? It would be colossal. It would be the fucking movement of the fucking century. It would prove that there's still Americans left, not just those 5 or 4 Democrats that are left in Congress that wouldn't vote for this fucked up bill. You know, thing is, that's what we need to do. We need to mobilize now. Fuck the cold weather. Like I said in the blog, remember Valley Forge? It was fucked up cold in Valley Forge, but those were real fucking Americans back in those days. Are you a real American now? Is it too cold for you? Hey, Valley Forge, they didn't have fucking rubber boots and fucking clothing, you guys. They were just fucked. So, what do you want to do? Are you American? Is it Valley Forge? Or are you a pussy? And, you know, it's fucking Waterloo. But, you know, we're not the fucking, we're not the British in this one. We're the French at Waterloo. Okay? You decide. Stuck out.